Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Charleston Library. Today for our cooking video, of course you know who I am, I'm Trisha. For our cooking video, we are going to make mint chocolate chip cookies. And this is kind of to celebrate St. Patrick's Day a little bit. I know it's a day late, but I mean, we got to celebrate somehow, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start out with, we've got a large bowl and a half of stick of butter. And what I'm doing with this recipe, I halved it so that we would have a chance to show you what the cookies look like. Because they do take they take 10 minutes to cook. So I did find a little trick today during making this first batch. If you put your butter out at room temperature and it's still kind of not soft, then you can put it in the microwave for about 2-3 seconds and it'll help soften it up so you can cream it together. So that's what I'm going to do. Give me just a moment. I did find out a little tidbit today though about St. Patrick's Day. You know, everybody in the United States celebrates it with corned beef and cabbage. I did learn the original St. Patrick's Day, which was on the day of St. Patrick's death, they served Irish bacon and cabbage. So actually the tradition is Irish bacon and cabbage. We've just kind of Americanized it. So we've got our butter softened, and to it I'm going to add a half a cup of sugar, and we're going to cream this together. We've got it creamed together. It looks kind of clumpy, but it is creamed together. Okay, and to that we are going to add 1/4 of a cup of sour cream. Get my spoon out here. And believe it or not, we are using vanilla pudding mix. In the original recipe, it calls for 1 box. I did find out if you were halving this recipe, it would be 4 tablespoons. And then in the recipe, it does call to use the mint extract towards the end, but I thought it would be easier to incorporate if we added it beforehand. So to this, we're going to add a teaspoon of extract. Okay. And we're going to cream that together. I forgot the important ingredient, which is 1 egg. Now that we've got that well mixed, we're going to mix together our dry ingredients. So we'll set this aside. Okay, and then in a small bowl, we're going to mix together 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And then I have I don't know if you can see that or not, I have a teaspoon of baking soda and a teaspoon of salt, or not a teaspoon, excuse me, a fourth of a teaspoon of each of salt and baking soda. And then give your flour a good whisk. It'll help add a little air to it, kind of like sifting it. And then now we're just going to gradually add that to our wet mixture. The batter to this will be very thick, just like chocolate chip cookies. But I'm telling you what, you guys, we tried these earlier, and they are delicious. I tease with the girls and tell them I'm not much of a baker. They always tell me that I am. I hope not very many people got pinched yesterday. I had a few close calls, but I snuck it in on my socks. So, you know, you got to trick them. All right. One more shot with the flour and we'll have it well mixed. All right. Okay. See, I don't know. See how thick that is? I mean, it's pretty thick. Okay. Now here comes the fun. We are going to add food coloring to it. So since this is half a recipe, we're going to do less than what the recipe calls. The recipe calls for 5 drops of blue. We're going to do 2. And then it calls for 10 to 15 of green. We're going to do about 6 or 7. Okay. And then just give it a good stir. If you want to add more color to it, that's fine. I mean, I like mine just right at that color of green. But you can add a little bit more blue or more green, however you would like to do with it. You could even, like, if you wanted your cookies to be marbled, look at that. That would be pretty too. Okay. Man, I wish you guys could so smell this mint. It is so yummy smelling. Okay, so we've got our green that I want. Like I said, you can add more green or you can make less. To that, we are going to add 3/4 a cup of chocolate chips. You can do chocolate chunks, you can do half and half, or, I mean, you might be able to just take them out all together and add nuts or something like that if you'd like. Cookie recipes are so universal. You could add nuts to it the way it is. Okay. There we go. Okay. Let me get my table cleared off a little bit, and then we'll scoop these onto the pan. Now you're going to put them on a cookie sheet, but you want to go ahead and spray it with cooking spray or use a parchment paper or something on it because they will stick. And then we're just going to put them down in teaspoon drops. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it to give this a little bit of spring flair as well. If you came into the library within the last hour, you guys would so smell these. We've had a few patrons already come in and grab a few of the cookies as they came in. Anytime we're doing these videos, and you guys want to stick around and try the recipes, feel free to. I mean, we are very, very willing to share. Yeah, in this recipe, the full recipe makes 3 dozen cookies. What I'm doing makes about 1.5 dozen. I did 4 big cookies for us ladies here at the library earlier. So, okay, so my little flair that I'm going to do to it is add sprinkles. It'll give it a little bit of a spring color if you want to do it. You don't have to. Just kind of flatten your cookies a little bit and throw them on there. There we go. Okay. I'll give you a show on that before I finish them out. There we go. See if you can see that really good. All right, you guys. I'm going to finish scooping these up. Once again, this is how they're going to look when they're done. My camera is kind of off a little bit today. But they are so yummy. If you guys are want to stop by sometime this afternoon, or even stop by tomorrow, we'll have some. Come by and try them. Thank you very much, and you have a wonderful day and a great weekend.